Greetings, comrade. Today, I led a revolution filled with friendship, betrayal, politics, and even war. In this server, more than 100 players got together to build a society and find out what happens when we try to make communism work in VIII story.
Don't have the trees.
Go wrong!
Oh no, get ready, get ready.
This is the fourth part in my VIII story Civilization series. If you're new here, don't worry. You don't need to watch parts 1 through 3 because I'll start with a quick recap. Buckle up and grab some snacks. This one's big. Today, you'll follow a journey of rising hope and brutal collapse. This is the story of the Goon People's Republic, one of the first functioning civilizations in VIII story and most likely the first fully documented one. Without further ado, let's jump in.
People's Republic, originally known as Goon Nation, was founded by 3 anarchists, Blob, Tesco, and me, Fask. At first, their settlement went unnoticed by the rest of the world, but as their population grew and their town expanded, another nation named the Empire started launching anti-communist projects. They organized raids into Goon Nation, sabotaging our farms, and they would build forts around Goon Nation to keep us from expanding. To fight back, Goon Nation would use a mix of propaganda and Viet Cong-style guerrilla warfare to protect its own right of existence. Although some troubles arose, the Goon Nation would keep on growing, much to the annoyance of the Empire. But in year 6, as spring broke, they attacked. No declaration, no warning, just annihilation. The town fell, burned, razed. But the spirit of Goon Nation lived on. And from its ashes, Blobfish stood above its ruins and proclaimed the creation of a new nation. One that would learn from Goon Nation's mistakes and give no room for negotiation with the treacherous capitalists from the Empire. Then and there, he proclaimed the creation of the Goon People's Republic and wrote a new manifesto, proclaiming its birth, naming himself as the first chairman of the Communist Party of Goon Nation. From now on, the Republic's motto would be in unity, discipline, and socialist construction. They thought we were defeated, but they forgot one thing. You can burn a town, not a revolution.
At the end of my last video, I did a call to action, and nearly 100 comrades answered. We will grow bigger, faster, and stronger this time. With our new comrades, manifesto, and our newly found resolve, we instantly moved to prepare for our first upcoming challenge: food. Knowing this, I called for the construction of a new town on the mainland, next to our partly finished coastal fort. I ordered the Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure to focus on building communal housing. For now, people will share 2-person rooms to make up for the lack of time and resources. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Supply, which I was the minister of, got straight to building a new farm, since the one I built on the island is simply just too small and insufficient now. And finally, the Ministry of Mining and Metallurgy would focus all their attention toward gathering copper and bronze tools for the farmers and builders. However, with all the new comrades joining, so would new problems. There was no local authority organizing the zoning and mapping of the new town, so I exercised my power to bypass a public vote and appointed Woezel as mayor, who officially named the town Rustenburg. One important distinction is that the Goon People's Republic and the Communist Party of Goon Nation are not the same thing. The CPGN holds central power. It sets quotas, organizes assemblies, and keeps the people informed on national policy. Meanwhile, the GPR oversees local matters like mayors, navy commanders, and quartermasters, but their authority is limited. Nearly all decisions require coordination with CPGN ministers. This balance of power would soon be tested. For now, we decided to make Rustenburg an all-around town, meaning it has no specific production focus, with the plans to turn it into a farming town in the future. Me and the farmers made our plans to use a crop rotation system to maximize our farming output. This would mostly be planned out by our comrade farmer Johannes. Meanwhile, I appointed a group of farmers as wood collectors. They would get oak wood for the town's construction. We were in a race against the clock. Although we had some food supplies, they would run out quickly. We also decided it's best to send out some hunting parties to collect meat for short-term consumption. While this was going on, the builders created a temporary pit kiln location. For those new to VIII story, pit kilns are used to harden clay pottery. This would be necessary to make cooking pots and bowls. Our building ministry also got straight to building wooden commie block style houses. And after the first day, the first apartment building was done. The miners in the Tesco were still busy getting basic metals like copper and bronze to make quick and easy tools for the farmers and builders. On day 2, we built a fence around our farm. No longer would pests like rabbits eat the crops we planted. Unfortunately, even though we planted all our crops, we started running out of food, which is actually quite realistic. Historically, most famines occurred right before the harvest. We rationed our food, which angered some of our comrades, but I personally assured them that this was a necessary step towards survival and prosperity. On day 3, winter was approaching. People were hard at work with their tasks. The builders had now finished some of their buildings, including a builder's hut and a tavern for food storage and production. The farmers finally had the first harvest and everybody joined in to process and cook the food. We stored it in crocks, some sealed with fat for long-term storage, others unsealed for short-term use. We placed them on 2 labeled shelves. Sealed crocks reserved for the coming winter, unsealed crocks to be consumed within the next 50 in-game days. We also opened up a bee farm around this time on the southern side of Rustenburg. However, that is when, right before the winter started, the CPGN would call for the first Goon Republic assembly. Let's start off with something very basic where we need to discuss some organizational stuff. So obviously there's a lot more government ranks and a lot more positions that need to be filled that we are going to need for organizational reasons. Because right now I think everybody can agree that it's a little bit disorganized, especially whenever the ministry leaders aren't online. Also, this goes for Tesco and Fask. The ministries are going to start picking deputies. So every minister will have one deputy to basically be in control of everything that's going on whenever they're not online. So they're just basically second in command of the entire ministry. Emphasize, we do need a Minister of Defense. That's going to be important. Minister of Defense will make sure that we got all the weapons and tools that we need in case something does happen. But also he will be the one that kind of not really executes the law, but at least keeps an eye out to make sure people aren't just hoarding tools or doing shit that isn't legal. They're kind of also like doubling as a sheriff, I guess. After the assembly, Tesco, the Minister of Mining, notified me that the quarry was now fully ready for large-scale granite excavation. This would be important because after next winter, we will focus on finishing the coastal fort, which we would from now on call Bastión del Pueblo. Little did we know, this fort would save us from the brink of collapse. Me and Woezel, mayor of Rustenburg, would build small parts of the fort, but most would be built after the frost set in. For now, my main priority was still set on organizing the farmers and getting enough food done before the winter. For now, the miners would use the windmill in Bastión del Pueblo for their smithery, which is located inside the fort. After day 3, Fask, the Minister of Construction and Infrastructure, told me that they had fully finished the 2 wooden commie blocks. These would be 2-story apartment-like houses that can house 2 people per room. This meant that they could now work on their next project. You see, the miners have been using the coastal fort for their smithing, which was fine, but it was very inefficient. It meant they had to continuously transport their resources across the water and back in between their quarry, mines, and smithery. So right before winter, one of the last projects the builders would work on was constructing a new smithery on the mainland. When the frost set in, we were fairly well prepared. Throughout the winter, we would continue with our ration system. The farmer ministry would make sure every comrade had a full belly this winter. The miners also started construction on a new project, which was a water wheel. In Finishstory, to maximize efficiency and to work metals like steel and iron, it requires you to have a half hammer. While the miners did have a half hammer, it was at the mill in the coastal fort. This simply just would not do. So to increase their efficiency, they would construct a water wheel next to the new smithery to maximize output. This is also when the GPR Navy commander Ghost had finished the first ship.
With this ship, comrades, the seas are ours.
This would be used to transport people and resources. At the time, we thought it was just for transportation. Soon, it would carry men to their deaths. The Goon People's Republic had survived its first winter. Our bellies were full, our fort stood proud, and our navy sailed the seas. But survival only painted a larger target on our backs. And soon, the Empire would answer.
The first winter had passed, and the Goon People's Republic stood stronger than ever. Our bellies were full, our homes defended, our banners raised against the winds of history. But survival is never enough. Survival is only the beginning. With the spring came new challenges. Granite for the Bastion del Pueblo, weapons for a people's army, and discipline for a militia that would soon be tested in blood. But not all struggles were fought with iron and stone. In the alleys and taverns, in whispers carried by firelight, something else was growing. Not hunger, not rebellion, but faith. A faith not in the party, nor the Republic, but in something stranger, something called Dave. And though we laughed at first, those whispers would soon echo loud enough to shake the very foundations of our revolution.
Knowing that war is only a matter of time, we rushed to get our military ready. For now, the mining ministry would focus on getting granite for the Bastion del Pueblo, while the farmers between harvests trained their archery and spear throwing skills during hunts. In the Goon People's Republic, militia service in times of war was not a choice, but a duty. Every man and woman would bear arms to defend the revolution, and so we needed weapons in numbers we did not yet possess. The post of Minister of Defense remained ominously vacant. No one dared to claim responsibility for organizing a people's army. Without a commander, the CPGN would have to improvise. And while contact with the Empire remained scarce, darker rumors began circulating within the Republic.
Layer by layer, I didn't know narrowness in my childhood.
A strange religious group had emerged, calling themselves the Church of the Glorious Dave. At first, their sermons were harmless, strange chants about unity under Dave, cryptic prayers muttered over shared meals. But soon, their following grew too quickly, attracting comrades away from their labor. Their leader, Luca, was the most vocal.
Brothers, sisters, comrades, you break your backs in the fields, you bleed in the quarries, you obey the party bestowed for a god. But tell me, what has the party given you? Stone walls, empty bellies, promises that tomorrow will be brighter than today. These things fade, these things rot, these things can burn in a single raid from the Empire. But Dave can only rust. Dave does not lie. Dave does not ration your scraps. Dave provides in ways that Chairman never can. When you close your eyes and hear the whispers in the wind, that is not hunger, comrades. It is Dave calling you home. 1,000 years from now, there will be no Goon Republic. No empires, no petty councils, but there will still be Dave. Those who follow him will be remembered. Those who deny him will be dust beneath our feet. Stand with us. Stand with Dave and be free.
Free from what, Luca? The Republic feeds us, defends us, builds homes for us. You speak of freedom, but what do you offer? More work? More sermons?
I offer truth. You may keep your rations, comrade. You may keep your chairman's slogans. But when winter comes and your granaries run empty, ask yourself, did the party save you? Or was it Dave's mercy that kept you warm?
At first, we dismissed them as little more than eccentrics, a curiosity in the tavern corners, tolerated like wandering bards. But whispers spread faster than walls could contain, and before long, even I could not ignore the growing shadow of Dave within the Goon People's Republic. And so, I moved to recognize the Church of Dave as one of the Goon People's officially practiced religions. Comrades of the Goon People's Republic, today we stand united not only in our labor but in our spirits. We are farmers, miners, builders, yes, but we are also dreamers, singers, and believers. The revolution was never meant to change your souls but to free them. Recently, a voice has risen among you. A strange voice perhaps, but a sincere one. The Church of the Glorious Dave has called for unity, for strength and faith, and for vision beyond the reach of the Empire's steel. Many among you have listened. Many among you have found comfort in their words. As chairman, I say this: a revolution that fears belief is no revolution at all. And so today, in the eyes of the party, I recognize the Church of Dave as a legitimate faith within our republic. Its worshippers will be free to practice openly without harassment or shame. But let this be clear: No God, no idol, no Dave stands above the revolution. The Republic is the body, faith is the heart. Both must beat together or all will collapse. So long as the church walks with the people, not against them, they will be respected as comrades among comrades. Glory to the Goon People's Republic and its many voices. Around this time, we started making our first ladder. Not only that, but the builders constructed an official building for the pit kilns. In the middle of Rustenburg, Woezel ordered the construction of a fountain and a monument in honor of the revolution. Next to this, we would construct a board with signs where comrades can request items or builds from others. Woezel also volunteered to become the new Minister of Defense. I would set quotas to fill the armory in the Bastion del Pueblo and coordinate the last stones that needed to be laid to finish the coastal fort.
Rustenburg was thriving. Farms flourished, walls rose high, and the Republic's heart beat steady. But every nation that grows must expand, and with expansion comes division. To fuel the fires of industry, we carved canals, dug quarries, and raised smokestacks to the sky. A second town was born. Where Rustenburg was the breadbasket, this new town was the forge. A town of sparks and steel. But sparks can do more than light furnaces. They can spread, they can burn. For every stone was laid, for every hammer strike in the miners' forges, we did not yet see that something else was being built in secret. Resentment, distrust, the first cracks in our republic, and once cracks form, collapse is only a matter of time.
Around a week into the Republic's experiment, I ordered the founding of a second town, a settlement dedicated to industry, to mining, and to the fire of progress. This town would smelt our copper, forge our weapons, and power the revolution with its furnaces. It would be the heart of labor itself. But building a new town meant new problems. Unlike Rustenburg, this settlement was cut off from our waters. The lakes would not connect it to our capital. Moving stone, food, and lumber over land would be slow, dangerous, and costly. Without logistics, there would be no republic. Fortunately, a solution came from the builders. With the help of Ghost, commander of our navy, they dug canals, carving the earth itself to stitch the waters of Rustenburg to the coast. For the first time, our republic became a living network of rivers and lakes, binding towns together like veins pumping blood. But a town is more than walls and canals. It needs leadership. And so, for the first time, the republic held mayoral elections. The two candidates were miners, Suspicious Man and Quirdo. Both campaigned fiercely, but in the end, the people chose Quirdo as their mayor. He named the town Embershire, a place where sparks of industry would grow into a fire that would light the republic for generations. Or so we thought. At first, Embershire depended on Rustenburg for food, but then their deliveries ran short. Whether by mistake, by hunger, or by greed, resentment flared. Rustenburg accused them of taking too much. The Council of the Republic sided with Rustenburg, leaving Embershire feeling abandoned. It was here that the first cracks began to show. A vocal minority of miners shouted in the streets for more autonomy. Some whispered for independence. They claimed the farmers of Rustenburg lived as first-class citizens, while the workers of Embershire starved. And soon, those whispers turned into conspiracies.
Brothers and sisters of Embershire, Rustenburg feeds us, yes. But do they see us? Do they know the sweat on our backs, the fire in our lungs, and the hammers in our hands? No. We are the ones who dig, the ones who smelt, who forge the future of the Republic. And I swear to you, under my leadership, Embershire will never bow its head again. Not to Rustenburg, and not to anyone.
Around this time, the Church of Dave started becoming more and more counter-revolutionary, with slogans such as "Only Dave can provide" and "The CPGN lies, Dave does not." Thus, my hand was forced. Although religious freedom would continue to exist in the Goon People's Republic, I passed the notion to ban the Church of Dave for being counter-revolutionary. Surprisingly, Lucas seemed to be okay with this decision and would from now on stop preaching the words of Dave, or so I thought. In the following days, weapons began disappearing from the fortress. Shipments to the Bastion del Pueblo arrived late, lighter than promised. Rumors reached my ears of a secret armory hidden deep within Embershire, guarded by comrades who no longer trusted the party. I could not act without proof. To accuse without evidence would tear the Republic apart. And so I only told Vask, leader of the builders, and we agreed to just wait and watch. In the meantime, I called a farmers' assembly. Outwardly, it was to organize hunting, but secretly, it was something more. Weapons training. If Embershire meant to rise against us, then the Republic's militia would be ready. What none of us knew then was that the enemy was already among us, and the spark of dissent was about to ignite into fire.
By the time Embershire whispered independence, the Republic had already written its manual for survival. We couldn't outnumber our enemies, so we learned to outlast them. Our militia doctrine rested on 3 pillars. 1. Disappear. Small, autonomous cells of 3 to 5 militiamen hit where the enemy is soft and fade before they can answer. 2. Bleed, then break. Ambushes, crossfire angles, traps. Force them to spend bullets and stamina just to take a street. When they slow down, the militia counterattacks. 3. Stones before streets. If neighborhoods fall, we fall back to strongholds. Bastion del Pueblo stands as the anvil. Our mobile cells are the hammer. Lose ground if we must, but never lose the means to strike back. With this doctrine, the people's militia could survive a lost day to win the next one.
On this day, my contacts let me know that the Embershire separatists wish to strike Rustenburg. Today, they would suspect minimal resistance. However, they would have better gear than our militia. Not only that, but I made a fatal error that day that might have cost us the revolution. I called out the conspirators. I correctly called out Cuerdo as the leader of the separatist plot. However, I accused Tesco, minister of the miners, as a co-conspirator. This alienated him and some miners, as he was not involved with the plot at all. Thus, Cuerdo easily convinced them to join the separatists. However, victory was not impossible.
They call us separatists, traitors. But tell me, comrades, who are the real traitors? The ones who hoard bread while we starve? The ones who call us second class? Who ban our faith? Who mock our labor? No, the traitors are not in Embershire. The traitors sit in Rustenburg, hiding behind their courts and their councils. And today, we will show them the cost of underestimating the miners of Embershire.
I, together with Woozle, made the decision to center our defense in the newly built CPG and court building. Unfortunately, we did not have enough time to go to the coastal fort to grab our full gear, so for now we will mostly had to do with what we could find. Luckily, we grabbed some arquebuses from the barn that the farmers used for hunting. Then we got notified that separatists had entered the town.
Scouts report movement on the riverbanks. They're coming.
Check up positions.
Bye bye.
Come on, everybody can check out. We need to use number advantage.
Oops. Whoa. Why don't we have bayonets?
How we went to fire?
Work on the archers.
Nice.
Reload deck.
Oh shit, I got...
I think this way,
I'm
right?
gonna wait for
Behind the residential buildings.
Wait, is that an enemy on the left?
Yeah.
Shoot him! Fire!
Fire!
Top of the residential building.
We lost like...
Fast goes off, but I did. There's people down.
Wait.
No, don't do that.
I think I can probably see them. You're exposed.
Because you told me that before.
They're coming for
They said that they found us.
People here. Everybody come west.
Get hit! Fall back! Fuck!
Okay, watch for
There's a
redheads, boys.
I'm feeling.
Did we lose this? We need to...
They
we need
don't
to
have-
reconvene. We need to reconvene
They don't
the
have a
government
capital.
building. No, they're taking the government building. That's fine. Do you have a gun? So?
Yeah. But it's flat, but it's...
Who's on west?
Community.
Okay, go west.
Guys, I'm getting...
On him, Run! I'm being chased. I'm being chased. No. I didn't grab a melee weapon. I didn't grab a melee weapon.
Allowed to grab our like stuff after.
Yeah, but you are able to get... Oh, I think we're losing this, guys.
I don't have a.
Yeah.
No! Although we had lost the battle, we had not yet lost the war. The survivors of the battle and I fled to the coastal fort. We'd hold out here or lose to the separatists. Little did we know, however, that Cordo and his conspirators had anticipated this move. They had made dirt bunkers filled with explosives spread out on the shoreline next to the fort. They would use this to shoot into the fort, and they could use the explosives to enter the walls of the fort.
I hit one. I think we're gonna have to get rid of that. Oh shit.
Where was that?
That was the wall, east side. East wall's breached. They're inside. Get to the staircase. Get to the side.
I'm just reloading. You can push further down.
Oh,
I think there's. Guys, they made a second hole.
They're breached the. They're in the.
They're at the harbor. They're going to the harbor.
Oh, he's literally standing still. He's taking the
At the dock. At the dock. On the dock.
Time is of the essence. They're here. They're here. They're here.
I'm gonna need it.
Ready? Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
I'm reloading.
Yeah, my ship is close.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a glitch happening.
Oh wait, one of them.
Oh, he's climbing up.
They're in the wall again. They're trying to get through the inside. I think they're trying to.
Aha!
Yes.
I got the sleep.
Here. On this
Oh, you got sleep.
Poke him with a stick, perchance.
Holy shit.
Oh, I got.
Yeah, I got him. I got him.
Where?
Oh,
They're not on top.
I think they're all getting this.
They're swimming back. Uchi, they're swimming.
Yes.
We're so close. Suppress the fire.
Yeah, I asked.
We're so low. Sophisticated.
Snippy is here.
I hit him. Go.
I love
Shoot
you,
his ass, shoot his
Robin.
ass.
I love you.
Bruce is on the line.
So many skeletons.
Having won the battle, it was time for the militia to end this petty revolt once and for all. They thought we were broken, but rubble does not break, it buries. And today, comrades, the separatists will be buried beneath the stones of their own rebellion. And so, as they fled back to Embershire, we sent some scouts to capture their dirt bunkers. This is when I got a report from one of them.
Strange sigils on the bombs. This isn't just Cordo. Could it be that the Empire is involved, or is it an organization that is more sinister?
This is not just a small separatist movement. Clearly, one of our enemies saw this as a real chance to destroy our republic. With our newly found resolve, we approached Embershire for the final siege, where Wusu would speak directly to the valiant members of the militia.
Those traitorous bastards of Embershire, the Embershire residents, horrible people, have decided to crush our small little town of Rustenburg and invade our fortress, blowing holes in the walls that took poor Jean and myself and the other builders years to build, frankly. It was quite rude, and I think we should take revenge. For Rustenburg.
Hurrah!
Glory!
Hurrah. Yeah, we have to beat them to at the last minute adjustment. Hold on. Could be crazy.
Guys, I'm
Shit! Oh shit! Take them behind the trees!
Run!
Run!
Yo, bro! Come on!
How long does it take for a bomb to ignite?
Oh my god!
Let's go.
There's nothing here.
Shit!
Oh, I see ops. Ops.
Shamba, watch out.
Careful, your point.
I'm in.
Oh, on your right, he's crouched. 100% he's crouched. Quit it, he's right there!
It's Bruno, shoot him!
Oh my god.
Oh, he's stuck!
Beat his ass!
Oh, he's gone. Okay, reload.
Yeah, it's...
They're not.
Yeah. Move up. We should push it from both sides.
We could
Behind.
Oh.
They open the door!
They're respawning.
Oh, that's useful.
It's actually fun. This is fun. No, never mind. We'll take the forts.
They're going under
Through the windows.
I'm alone. Kinda. Oh my...
No, wait, they built it. They built it.
Dead.
Hey, Desco is outside, I think. No.
Cheetah, pumpkin eater, bro. What is this nonsense?
Oh, these guys are...
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, reload. Everybody make shoes building. Use the range advantage. Remember last
The
time.
reloading takes way too long.
Sneak. Crouch, everyone crouch.
keep like at least one reload in between us and them. Not as
We still
no.
have like a sort of crosshair when we aim. It's just iron.
I think it's just iron.
It would be tough though.
Oh, one of them just peeked, so that means they're gonna start peeking. They're gonna just peek. There's a place we can go up. And like after a while of fighting, I called for a parley where I discussed with the separatists.
Their walls are crumbling. Starvation will do the rest. Give them nothing but terms they can choke on.
They actually look like Jack Sparrow as well. That's crazy.
We win, and then we get all the resource rights of Rustenburg, basically.
Me, you and Querdo will go to the ministry building. We'll discuss it there.
No,
So,
but,
you
no.
know,
We'll discuss it here. You guys get to own an armory, but no guns in the armory. Only melee weapons and armor.
No.
Okay, so Tesco, I think we end this siege with us winning.
Tesco, get back up here and we'll consider it. Wait, Tesco, get back up here and we'll consider it.
PC to join you guys because I feel like they were about to kill me.
I'm missing water.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Here, come to me. I got some extra. Oh.
Love shield.
Yeah, where are we? We will fight until we have no more bullets left. Then we'll just charge, because then there's nothing left to do. They're good on food, but just...
Might be more linen.
Come on, stop wasting our ammo.
Well, can we just have somebody bring the other ammo?
You can't aim at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's like spec.
Push it, that's what they want us to do, because they get the melee advantage. How about this? Is there a place we can look over the wall? Maybe on a mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, Tesco.
This is a good advantage. You crouch before they clock it, like.
Yeah. Are you angry or is he just joking? I think one of them's AFK, but my gun's literally too bad to aim. Yeah, but I can't hit anything. I think we can shoot through these windows.
That's what we fucking need. We just blow that wall open.
Yeah, but
and they can cut.
Reload my gun.
Oh my god.
What does it say?
Head into cover.
Oh, down. Now I'm like a bit...
Guys, we all crouch up the main road with loaded guns. We crouch up to it. Okay, ready for the
Jump.
Shoot Lucas! Shoot Lucas! He's right.
Oh yes, I hit something. I think.
This pile of volume of fire.
Wait,
the
tower
bees are
to-
hella
wait,
annoying.
guys, that little tower to the right. Is it connected to
No, it's still.
But if you hold space and release right straight.
I'm on one hand there.
I killed one!
Nice.
Oh, you're sophisticated!
He's Piranha, crouch.
I can't.
That's fine, they don't have much.
They want us to come closer, but we should keep our distance, right?
No, we
Oh, shit.
Pesco's peeking up top.
Oh, I just heard like 4 guns. That shit is crazy.
My crouch is a bit broken.
Surrounded.
Oh shit, yeah. Should we tail? I have cover.
Reload your gun. Reday.
Try to keep shifting those so they don't know how many people.
Does it?
Reload. Don't go in. Don't go in. Don't go in.
Yeah. But to play it like Siege, we need to hold every angle.
Look. Back me.
They're starving.
They're jumping! They're jumping!
I'll like to, of course.
We're fucked. Guess they're gonna be chasing us.
I was already starving.
Is he attacking us?
Oh shit!
He's trying to reload.
Although we had lost the battle, the separatists knew that full-on victory would not be achievable. Thus, the moderates inside of the separatist movement sat down with me and we came to an agreement.
You think a few broken walls will make us bend the knee? Embershire will never be Rustenburg's servant. We struck you in the fields, we broke you outside our walls, and we can bleed you again. But we are not blind. A siege could last months, years, and hunger is the cruelest enemy of all. So hear this. We will not beg for independence, but neither will we live unarmed under the CPGN's rule. Give us our own armory, and we will call this revolt ended. Deny us, and you may bury Embershire in rubble, but you will bury the Republic's industry with it.
Very well, Querdo. You have your armory,
But don't mistake this for mercy. You asked for independence, I gave you survival. Betray the Republic again, and Embershire will not rise from its ashes a second time. Embershire would be allowed to have an armory in their town. On paper, this armory would be owned and managed by the revolutionary militia. However, both me and the Embershire separatists knew that this armory only exists in case they wish to rise up again. My deputy minister Johannes really did not agree with my decision to allow them to have the armory. In his opinion, we should have totally crushed the revolt and killed or exiled the ringleaders. However, with a threat from the Empire looming over our heads, I could not afford losing a big part of our miners and Embershire's GPR representatives. This would have big consequences in the future, because this is when I called for the official CPGN chairman elections.
Even though Blobfish had up to this point only been chairman for about 2 weeks, due to the unstable nature of the Republic at this point, Blobfish thought that it would be best to have someone in the chairman position that people trusted. Thus, Blobfish would call for new chairman elections to take place. This doesn't mean Blobfish wouldn't run for chairman, however. In fact, Blobfish was quite insistent on being re-elected. You see, if Blobfish was re-elected, it would secure his position as chairman, showing everyone that the majority of citizens still believed in his leadership and resolve. This would not only strengthen his position, but if re-elected, it could give him a good excuse to rework the GPR ranks, logistic network, and militia. This election was not just a vote, it was a verdict, a question of what the Republic truly was, a dream of revolution or machine for survival, and no matter who won, the scars of the vote would run deeper than any battlefield.
There were 3 comrades that ran for the position of chairman. I, of course, ran myself, but so did Johannes, my deputy, that disagreed with my decision to allow Embershire their armory. The 3rd candidate was Crime Enthusiast, who was a member of the Miners Ministry. Johannes was really my only threat in the elections. Crime Enthusiast really didn't make any propaganda, nor did he really advocate for any of his positions, next to being a hardline advocate for anarchism. Johannes, however, would put quite a lot of effort into his political campaign. He would advocate for change and reform. His campaign constantly centered around his early achievements with preventing a famine during our first winter. Some of his goals were to increase cooperation between ministries by increasing the amount of assemblies, a more in-depth political system, and expanding upon the Central Committee and People's Assembly. He would implement a new rationing system, assuring every comrade ate his fill and no more. He would also add some more specialized ministries like the Ministry of Glass and Chromatic Industry. Lastly, he would promote and increase education efforts for our new comrades to learn about Marxist theories. He would also advocate for the removal of Embershire's armory and decrease their amount of autonomy. This statement, however, greatly hurt his support within the Miners Ministry. I would run on slightly similar reformist ideas. I wanted to add the militia training, which essentially meant that militia members practiced frequently to increase combat readiness. I wanted to rework the logistical system to ensure Rustenburg would always have the right tools to operate day to day and that Embershire would never again suffer through a famine. I would also wish to limit mayoral power, instead turning it into local councils to prevent messiahs like Cordo from gaining too much power. I would also order the construction of a secondary fortress, and lastly, some ranks to oversee the armory weapon distribution. In short, Johannes wants ideological purity, reform, centralization, education, rationing, and stricter control of Embershire, while I want pragmatism, stability, military strength, preventing another civil crack, but less idealistic. Rumors state that Crime Enthusiast was getting a fair amount of support from a lot of comrades that were previously known practitioners of the Church of Dave. This, however, would not be enough for me to worry about him getting close to winning. Johannes, however, his hard stance against Embershire might have lost him support amongst miners, but it would allow him to gain support from a lot of veteran militiamen of the Civil War. A clear rift was showing, with Tesco and Cuerdo ironically openly advocating for me in my campaign. Another valuable ally I had was Woezel, the mayor of Rustenburg. However, others like the commander of the Navy Ghost and the chair of the People's Assembly Rock Slasher would openly support Johannes. We scheduled a debate to take place the day of the vote. However, due to a fear of escalation between supporters and a possible assassination assassination plot against Johannes, it was cancelled prematurely. On the day of the election, Frodo notified me that if Johannes were to win the election, Embershire would declare independence and use the new armory to make sure they can fight back if Johannes refuses to recognize them. This could tear apart the revolution. We can simply not afford to be picked off one by one by the Empire, or worse, destroy each other in armed conflict. Needless to say, the stakes of this election were high. As the vote was posted, it was not even close at first. However, Johannes did the unthinkable. To try and gather support, he would form a coalition with crime enthusiasts, basically convincing him to hand all his votes over to Johannes in exchange for a deputy chairman spot. This made his votes creep closer and closer to my amount. Then, an hour before the vote ended,
Comrades crowded around the assembly hall, whispering rumors of a stolen election, or worse, of bloodshed to come. Each minute felt like an hour, and then, with the final count tallied, the fate of the Republic was sealed. In the last hour, Blobfish won the vote, winning with a 4-vote difference. Although a second civil war would be avoided, this was not the end of the Republic's troubles. Word has it that small skirmishes have erupted between Empire scouts and those of the Republic. This notified the Empire that the people of Goon Nation are still out there. Not only are they out there, but they've grown stronger than before. And so increasing combat readiness would be Blobfish's second priority. His first being the reorganizing of both the GPR and the CPGN. His belief being that the only way to defeat the enemy is by having an army that actually believes in the cause. We must give our people a reason to protect our way of life, he proclaimed in a meeting with some of the CPGN ministers. However, could it be that Blobfish is so focused on the enemy abroad that he forgot the enemy within?
Having lost the vote, Johannes gracefully agreed to continue to serve the Republic. But I knew this wasn't a surrender, only a truce. He also notified me that he would be stepping down from the position of Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Supply. Realizing it is too much work to be both Minister of Agriculture and Food Supply and Chairman of the Republic, I handed my ministry position over to Rockslasher, who gracefully accepted. I then appointed Vipex as the new Chairman of the People's Republic. The very next morning, as if to remind the people that the Republic was still moving forward despite our divisions, Ghost began work on a new CPGN headquarters. He also started construction on our first building that is part of the Industrialization progress. This would be the first factory dedicated to the production of Terrapeta. 2 days after I was re-elected as Chairman of the Republic, I released a new document, the GPR's Handbook. This would be a clear and concise place for people to understand the ranks and new logistics system. It also introduces the new stuff I added to the overall government structure. These reforms ensured that the days of logistical confusion were behind us. This satisfied both citizens in Embershire and the citizens in Rustenburg. However, the military reforms would have to be on pause, because I would put something else on the priority list first. Victory at the ballot gave us a fragile future, but survival demanded more than politics. Knowledge, the very foundation of our old nation, had been lost when Goon Nation fell. If we were to endure, we had to reclaim it. We set our eyes upon the Resonance Archive and started drafting expedition plans. So I gathered a small group of veteran militia members, armed them, and set off to the Resonance Archive. The archive was waiting, locked in stone and silence, and we scaled the mountain leading to the archive with our ladders, the wind howling around us. I couldn't help but wonder if we would reclaim knowledge or awaken something best left buried.
Before you take everything apart.
I'm fine, somehow. I don't know
there
how.
we go.
When are we getting?
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, do you have a design ready yet?
Gene, I need to get my chest. Yes.
No, I thought it was a fun time.
Oh, I'm so slow. Alright. If I remember correctly, there's arrows and stuff if you need it in that chest. I might starve. Right, second floor.
Can I get some food?
There's
Yeah, behind you.
Stop running off.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying.
I have an incident.
You're tiny buddy.
Oh lord, I just almost fell.
Alright, everybody. Yeah, that's. Don't forget, we went down there last.
run back up the ladder because I did forget to set my spawn, so this has been a little bit terrifying.
Old people. Luke, because you need to find the parts to repair it.
Oh god.
Is there a bell here?
Yes, there's 3 of them. Last time
Really
it took
was.
about 7 years to kill that fucking bell.
What parts do we need? I have
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Woo!
Comments.
You have to give me 5 minutes. I need to run around.
You're actually walking in slow-mo.
Bye,
Bye,
Blob.
Blob. Bye.
Oh, more. Oh yeah. Oh shit, that's the mine.
Let's go check.
It's all of a sudden. Oh, Blob.
I don't know.
Not Blob, Tesco.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was throwing the
Time
back.
to go.
Tesco's
And we got the ores as well, which I'm very happy about. Purely based on torches and we're just in the dark.
Goes here.
3, 2,
Oh.
1. There we go.
How many do we need?
Someone drop the
Yes,
torch,
sir.
please.
Alright, time to.
Oh.
Hey, let the people who are like able to do this shit just up first. Oh my god, I got sent to me. I do a lot of damage, just let me do the fucking heavy hitting here. Oh, by the way, if you use your shield, it blocks the recoil. It's dead.
Wow.
Tom Kenner got the last. I've got a torch.
Need a
What do you
torch.
need?
Yeah, light it up.
Oh my god.
We're finally here. Welcome back.
Alright, I would definitely have
Holy
shit.
shit.
Rickety translocator?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure though. It's what I've been told.
Who has gears? Because Tesco, do you have gears already?
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Having reclaimed their lost knowledge, the Ministry of Mining would set out to make use of the newly found schematics. Meanwhile, Blobfish gave a new task to the builders. He declared that to keep up with the Empire, the Republic will need to industrialize. Thus, he ordered the construction of more factories for basic production processes such as leather and gunpowder. Not only that, but official revolutionary militia training would now be taking place on a frequent basis. Skirmishes with the Empire's expeditionary parties have increased, and Blobfish suspects they are not here without a reason. Not only that, but the quartermaster in Embershire and the quartermaster of Bastion del Pueblo have reported that some of the weapons are missing. Surely this wouldn't be the Empire's doing, right? It seems it could be that something more sinister is going on, but what? I cannot say.
The gears of progress had begun to turn. For the first time since the founding of the Republic, there was a sense of forward momentum. Factories smoking, militia drilling, ministries humming with work, but in the shadows of our optimism, something else was stirring. On the eve of what should have been our proudest day of reconstruction, the bells tolled, not for a meeting, not for celebration, but for blood. They called it Dave Day. At first, the citizens thought it was just another sermon, another gathering of the weirdos we had outlawed. Then came the knives, the torches, the chanting. from alleyways, from cellars, from hidden shrines. They poured into the streets, not as neighbors, not as comrades, but as zealots. They killed without mercy, believing each strike brought them closer to ascension. Whole families were dragged from their homes, banners of Dave scrawled in blood on the walls. The Republic's militia scrambled to respond, but chaos spread faster than steel. This was no riot. It was a purge, planned and promised for months in whispers we ignored. And for a single night, the Republic drowned in madness.
Brothers, sisters, the forgotten children of truth, you have wandered in darkness. They fed you scraps and called it feasts. They chained you with laws and called it freedom. They drowned you in labor, then mocked your hunger with promises of plenty. But we know better, don't we? We know there is only one hand that gives, only one voice that speaks true, only one flame that never dies, only Dave. For years they mocked us, they outlawed us, they said our faith was poison, our God a lie, our devotion a sickness. Yet who grows sick now? Who rots from within? Their walls crack, their councils tremble, the Republic starves. But we stand, we rise, we burn. Tonight we cast off the chains they wrapped around our throats. Tonight their fields will drink blood instead of water. Their houses will burn brighter than their forges. Their banners will fall into ash. Strike, my children, strike without fear, for you are not alone. Dave watches, Dave hungers. Each scream you draw, each life you cut short, is another step upon the stair to salvation. Do not pity them, their flesh is payment, their bones are the foundation of the new world. Do not hesitate, every non-believer you leave breathing is another chain upon us. Blood is the tithe, fire the hymn, chaos the scripture. Do you hear it? The hymn of Dave sung in every scream, every crackle of fire, every blade that drinks. Fear not death, for death is Dave's embrace. Fear not the blade, for the blade is his kiss. Fear not the fire, for fire is his breath. What is the Republic's steel, their laws, their cannons, when Dave himself walks with us? They thought they could silence us. They thought they could bury us, but the seed of Dave cannot be buried. It grows in shadow, it feeds on silence, it bursts forth in fire. Tonight, Rustenburg drowns in its own lies. Tonight, Embershire howls with holy fire. Tonight, the Republic sees the truth. There is no future but Dave's future. Dave is here. Dave is hungry. Dave is eternal. Kneel or burn.
Enough! Enough compromise. Enough mercy. Enough pretending that we can fight wolves with open hands and kind words. Did you see what they did? Did you see our children dragged through the streets? Our homes burned in the name of their false god. Did you see the Empire's banners creeping closer while we bled ourselves dry putting down traitors? I've had it. No more weakness, no more restraint. If our enemies surrender, good. Let them kneel in the dirt before our rifle, and let the rifle decide. If they rise against us, they will be ground into dust so fine the wind will forget them. We train harder, we fight harsher, we purge deeper. Our militia will not be a flock of farmers with bows. No, it will be a machine, a storm, a tide that drowns everything in its path. They will call us monsters, but we're better off as monsters than corpses. Did you think history cares how we win? No. History only cares what we do, that the Republic stands when all else falls. And so, comrades, I say this, let the world tremble before us. Let the Empire see no prisoners, no hesitation, no mercy. From this day forth, our militia is not just an army. It is the hand of vengeance, the hammer of survival. The enemy chose fire and blood. Then fire and blood they shall have. For every drop spilled on our soil, we will answer with the rivers. For every life they take, we will answer with 10. We are the Republic. And if the price of survival is ruthlessness, then let us be ruthless. The Empire had officially launched multiple incursions into the Goon People's Republic. However, this time we were ready, more militarized and ruthless. To defeat the Empire once and for all, we did not wait for them to come to us. We ambushed their armies, did as much damage as possible, and disappeared back into the forest. We snuck behind the enemy and plundered their vulnerable supply lines, massacring every trader, merchant, man and woman we could find. And lastly, we would launch counterattacks against their military camps, not accepting any surrenders or prisoners. It didn't take long for the Empire to retreat with the little officers they had left. The army was broken and defeated. They would think twice about a second incursion.
Revolutions rarely end with victory parades. More often they end in fire, in betrayals, in barricades, in brothers turning their rivals against brothers. The Republic was no different. Blobfish abdicated after a vote for no confidence nearly passed in the People's Assembly, with the majority of citizens proclaiming he's become too violent. So, power shifted, not smoothly, but violently. Johannes was elected as chairman, a moderate voice who promised to scale back the militia's violence and bring peace to the Republic. But to some, moderation was betrayal. Minister of Defense Wuzel and his military council denounced Johannes as weak, and in the dead of night the army turned its guns not on the Empire, but on Rustenburg itself, with Wuzel proclaiming the creation of the Revolutionary United Front.
Soldiers, today we take back the Republic. Rustenburg will not fall. It will be purged of traitors.
Citizens of Rustenburg, don't be deceived. Wuzel doesn't come to free us, he comes to chain us. He dreams of a regime where the rifle dictates law, where fear and hatred reigns and every other voice is silenced. But this is our city, built by the hands of its people, held firm by the courage of our comrades. Every stone of Rustenburg belongs not to him, but to the people who walk its streets and cultivate the land. We will not bow. We will not yield. Let every barricade become a fortress. Let every alley be a trap. For every step they dare to take, make them choke on the cost. Rustenburg will not fall. We stand as one, unyielding, unbroken. Hold the line. Defend the city. Defend the revolution.
She's gone forever. I hate to say, my hope is faded day by day. I wanted her to see me now, so she could change my trouble somehow. Yes, she did love me. Yes, she loved me a whole lot.
Fire!
But then she left me, and I can't walk without my crush. I just can't walk without my crown.
After being notified of the military's traitorous ways, militia members from Embershire started steadily flowing into Rustenburg to help defend the CPGN. The RUF fled to the Bastion del Pueblo, where Comandante Wuzel had stationed his headquarters. Together with the new reinforcements, Johannes wanted to reclaim the fort. However, something unexpected happened. Seeing the state of the GPR, many of the militia members from Embershire chose to go back to their hometown. Here, Tesco, knowing the Republic was too weak to attack, proclaimed the independence of Embershire. The people crowned him king and reformed Embershire into the Kingdom of Embershire, a kingdom under Dave.
Brothers and sisters, children of Dave, hear me. The Republic lies broken. Its leaders argue like vultures while wolves tear at the gates. Rustenburg burns. Bastion del Pueblo is seized by the RUF. But here, in Embershire, the light of Dave still shines. No longer shall we bow to the chaos of assemblies. No longer shall we bleed for councils that betray their own people. Today, we cast aside the lies of the Republic. Today, we return to the truth of unity, of faith, of kingship blessed by Dave himself. And so, before all gathered, I proclaim Tesco not as comrade, not as chairman, but as king. King of Embershire, protector of the faithful, chosen sovereign of the Dave-fearing people. By the flame of devotion, by the blood of the martyrs, by the will of Dave Almighty. Rise, Tesco, rise as our anointed monarch. Let the Republic squabble, let the generals plot. Embershire stands apart, Embershire stands eternal. With Dave's blessing, our kingdom shall never fall.
Only one question remains. Who's really in charge of the kingdom? Tesco or Luca?
At this point, the Republic was split between three nations. Commandante Wuzel would be busy building up his army on the coastal fort to one day retake Rustenburg and proclaim victory for the Revolutionary United Front. After Tesco got crowned in Embershire, he would move to reform not only the government, but also the economy of Embershire, no longer having to share petty meals and tools. From now on, every item in the kingdom is owned by King Tesco. But even though the RUF and Embershire are now consolidating power, the turbulent times in the Goon People's Republic are not yet over. Having lost confidence in the Republic, Shambella's soldier would create a guerrilla army, separate from the revolutionary militia. It's named the New Goon People's Army. Of course, this new militant force would not be politically accepted in Rustenburg. Knowing this, Shambella rallied his comrades and embarked on the Great Walk.
The Republic is broken. Wuzel hides behind his walls, Johannes behind his council, and in Embershire they kneel to a false crown. But the people, we're still here, and as long as we're here the fight isn't over. We won't march in parades, we won't hold palaces. We'll strike from the forests, the hills, and the jungles. We'll be the fire they can't stamp out. From this day forward, we're the new Goon People's Army, and we don't need a capital to wage revolution.
And with this, the story comes to an end. The Goon people have been split up and fractured, disagreeing over politics, militia tactics, and economics. Now, there are four factions: the GPR, the Kingdom of Embershire, the RUF, and finally the NGPA. But if you want to join any of these factions or make your own faction on the server, join the Discord. We are looking for new comrades. The experiment will continue, and in the next video you can participate and even have an impact on a larger story. Just sign up through the link in the description if you're interested. Making this video has occupied most of my life in the past month, so I really hope you guys can make all the effort worthwhile by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. I'm a small YouTuber and I read every comment I get, so if you have any suggestions or just want to say something nice, write me a comment. And in case you're wondering, in a new video I will be taking part in a new Goon People's Army. But yeah, glory to the CPGN, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Although some trouble... Nay! Ah! Fish stood above its ruins. Nay! Ah! 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 Nay.
Joined in harmony for the execution of an outlaw. This bear was sent by the capitalist empire to sabotage the production. Alright, ready? Aim! Fire! Hell yeah, brother.
Sometimes my balls itch on a Wednesday afternoon.
Well, hey, fucking hell. Hey, don't shoot them. We're parlaying. Wait, don't shoot.
He sprinted forward.
They're saying you were reaching.
No, there's bombs! There's bombs!
Oh, he's dead.
No.
Oh, the glass is gonna be...